Alright, without further ado, here in... Let me adjust my chair. There we go. Here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, playing as the red Zerg pieces from Alpha X. Give it up, it is Ragnarok. And in the top left, in the blue, playing as the Terran pieces from Team Liquid. Give it up, it is CLEM. Alright, so game number 1 here in this best of 3 series. This is, of course, from DreamHack. Group A. Last chance here. So, Barracks first coming out from CLEM. Going to be seeing a beautiful hatchery first. Coming out from Ragnarok. Now, Ragnarok has been kind of in this weird up and down of sorts, right? So, he's still really, really good, but sometimes it feels like he's not as good as what he once was. He has these kind of highs and lows, it seems. So we'll see what kind of Ragnarok we have today. When he's playing on his game, he is a force to be messed with. But CLEM, definitely one of those up and rising Terrans and stars all together. I'm excited to see what he has to bring today. Now, CLEM is going to be going across the map with a single SCV. He's going to be getting some scouting, wants to make sure that that expansion has been taken. And behind this, he is going to take his own command center down there on the low ground. So, CLEM going to get there just in time to see that, in fact, that hatchery has been completed. Third base going to be taken now, just a little bit later. But will indeed at least be able to be taken. Reaper is going to make its way across the map now. And Ragnarok hiding the drone really far down. Just wants to make sure that it does not get scouted. And gives this illusion of, hey, I'm only on 2 bases. CLEM going to come in here looking to get a couple of kills. We'll be able to get one single SCV. Or excuse me, a Ling. Gets 2 Lings, actually. It's very nice. Still alive. Queen is out, so should be able to push this back and does scout out that third base. So, should be okay. Now, Lings are trying to clear up the rocks. Queen's just going to continue to protect guard. And Reaper just going to make sure that no Lings flood across the map. Nothing too crazy happens. And Marine going to be just hanging out for the Overlord. Now, we do have ourselves that factory landed down. He is going to be going into Hellions behind this and throwing an additional barracks. Very interesting. Actually going to be going for a third base as well. So no starport just yet. But going for a little bit more economic, seeing that that third base is already there. And you know what? I like it. Queen going to give chase. And should be able to be at the third base just in time for it to hatch, but doesn't look like he's going to actually send it across there. So, CLEM going to go ahead and return back home now with his Hellions. It does have Stim on the way. And behind this, going to start up his starport, so very, very good stuff. Only 2 Hellions, though, coming out from CLEM before he goes into that tech lab. And I think that's just for a little bit of defense, especially if Ragnarok were to go for a little bit of a Ling push. He has something to deal with it, right? Going to return potentially home? There you go. Okay. Okay, so he does lose a Reaper, but quite a bit of Marines are already out. Looks like we will, in fact... see more Hellions this time. What? Interesting. Okay, so he's going to be going into a Hellbat Marine. Or yeah, Hellbat Marine. Giving it the illusion that it's going to be a 16 Marine drop. We see the Bailings coming down. Layer tech already on the way. And we'll be allowing Ragnarok to go into that Bailing speed. Once it gets completed, and it should be able to finish up pretty easily. Ragnarok, of course, going to see CLEM taking that third base. And behind this, it gets kind of scary. Now, Ragnarok going to see the Hellbats, going to see the Marines flying across. I don't think he actually, no, he doesn't see the medevac here, but definitely could guess what is about to happen. Baling Nest just now completing, 22 Lings on the way, 7 Balings about to be morphed in, and that could be dangerous. But with these Hellbats in the front, it's going to be very tough for Ragnarok to deal with this. Now, Hellbats slowly starting to push in here. He's got to be careful, forcing the kind of pull here. The Balings trying to get on top of this. More Hellbats are on the way. Hellbat's going to crash and fall. A lot of the Hellbats are getting low as the Balings able to kind of just crush through this. It does push back CLEM. Now, the important thing to note is he still has Marines. He still has Hellbats alive. So he did lose some units, but he traded out for more units from Ragnarok. So Baling speed just now starting up, and we do have an Evo chamber coming down for Ragnarok. Looks like CLEM gonna try to go around, but again, this pesky little Overlord gonna be able to see most of it, and already the Queen's going to be in place. Now Stim is done, so that's gonna help add a little bit to this. But unfortunately, with all the Queens there, CLEM can't just pick up and move away. Behind this, also getting the creep spread. Fourth base gonna be coming down. So looking pretty good. I like this little Widow Mine coming out from CLEM as well. Just wants to be a little extra protective against any kind of run-bys. Finally, we'll get that pesky Overlord as Combat Shields finishes. And +1 Carapace for the Zerg going down as well. Now, looks like Ragnarok wants to clean up a little bit more of the rocks to get a little bit better access, but would it be enough here? Marine's going to stem in with one of the Hellbats leading the charge. Now, doesn't get the Queen, but does get very close. Going to go ahead and scan, trying to get some more of the creep. Potentially get a Queen or two. Widow Mines are now in play. And that's going to allow a little bit more buffer here for the Terran. Does get pushed back. Now, the Lings are going for a little bit of a counterplay, but with the Widow Mine already there, you should be able to get a good hit. Doesn't get the best hit, though. And we will force that back, but there are still Marines. There's a couple more Widow Mines back to help push it back and deny that counterplay. Now, Hydras are on the field. Gonna allow this to really go in a little bit more as CLEM continues to poke forward. He's got to be careful, though. The surround does come through. Is going to lose a couple of Marines, but able to pick up and get out. CLEM needs to do something here, though. He is going into the Widow Mine, throwing in a couple of tanks now, seeing that it is going to be that Lingbane Hydra. Just wants a little bit extra splash damage to go in that. Now, +1 is almost done for the Zerg. He is getting those the augments and stuff like that for the Hydralisk, getting the range and the speed. Link's going to come in once again. The Balings, though, not getting the best connections as the Marines start stemming forward here. Widow Mines trying to get in an okay position. There is no detection with this army at the moment. Just got to be super careful of those Widow Mines. Now, all the Queens will end up falling. Beautiful play there, actually focusing down all of those Balings. Gonna get the hatchery as well, and we'll make it out with quite a bit of army here. Trying to get into the Widow Mine graveyard. Pushing in once more now. He still has a pretty good focus here. Oh, not the best splits. Ends up losing a lot of his army and those mines, so loses a little bit of the pressure, but there's still a huge army, a huge chunk of his army coming across the map. Now, +2 is on its way for both sides. Infestation Pit about halfway done. It does look like Ragnarok wants to go into a Hive Tech army as soon as possible. Potentially into the Ultralisks here. Beautiful spread, though. CLEM pre-splitting to this engagement. There's not a lot of Balings with this army, though. CLEM gonna go forward once again as this base is trying to be retaken. Now, he does have another base up here that could be helped, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough here. There we go. Going to be forced back once again. The Widowmine's going to help buffer for the tank, but there's not enough Marines, and he will be forced back. Finally, Ragnarok able to hold and defend as he takes that bottom base once again. The creep still trying to spread across the map. Link's going to go for a surround here, or at least a little bit of a counterattack if possible. But CLEM not giving up on this aggression, and those Lings just going to go straight into the natural here, picking up every little reinforcement as possible. Beautiful splits coming out, and it looks like Ragnarok going to finally get cleaned up here after a short minute. Liberators are going to get sieged up again. These Widowmines have been bursted, so not going to be able to get anything done. And CLEM playing it dangerously. Does actually get quite a big chunk, but there's just too many Hydras here. A couple Lings still alive, but as the 4th base has been taken at 5th base on the way for CLEM. Lurker Den almost done, and that's when it's going to become a big issue here for CLEM. Hive is now on the way as well. And he scans, sees that there is that top base mining. We'll see. 4 Lurkers on the way. +2 is almost done for the Zerg from melee. +1 Hydralisk is almost done. But now CLEM starting to throw in some more of those more chunkier Marauders. But against these Lurkers, he's got to keep them in a low count. They don't have the upgrade yet, so they're not as potent. But still, he's got to try to focus them down. He cannot overextend here. More Bailings going to get morphed in. The tank will siege up in just an okay position at this point. I like this Queen being a little cheeky, like, I'm not doing nothing over here. As it keeps, like, essentially, like, expanding out, right? Lings are trying to go for a little bit of a counterattack, or at least to continue to put some pressure and keeps CLEM's focus not all the way here. Lurkers are going to go ahead and move their way forward. The Bailing's Nest going to push forward as well. The Lings trying to get a full surround here. The Bailing's going to make some decent connections. More Bailings coming in. The Hydra's going to be able to help clean this up. And CLEM in a little bit of trouble. Will get pushed back once again. Fortunately, that surround able to kind of shut CLEM in his place at the moment. +3 almost done now for CLEM. It looks like he wants to go for a little bit of a multi-pronged harass here. Lings just trying to see where all the base is for the Terran. And it looks like he has found one of them. Alright, sees that the army is over there for CLEM. Ragnarok going to go up towards the north of the map. Then going to go back down, just trying to clear up as much space as possible. Widowmines, though, going to get some okay hits. Immediately has an Overseer to help deal with this. And yeah, I mean, this gives CLEM the opportunity to go ahead and remax here. Get himself all situated. Does have +3 almost done. He's going to add in Ghosts, as well as he's adding on additional CCs, just trying to get more and more expansions up, get more of that economy going. And looks like he's going to come in for an attack. There's still only a handful of Lurkers. There's actually still those 4. Adding on a couple of more to help deal with this, but I like that he's not going full force into the Lurkers. He's just kind of peppering them in, but still very, very effective. The Ling's not going to allow any kind of multi-pronged harass come through. Even the Spine Crawlers are going to be in place as Ragnarok trying to move towards this top base priority. No Middle Mines to be had, so everything that is being able to see will be here. The Ghost trying to pick off a couple of snipes. Does get one. He's got to be careful though. His own tanks are actually shooting his Ghosts. Lots of Bailings though. And now it's just kind of back and forth micro from both sides. More CCs being added on, just continuously trying to get more and more production. Wants to be able to get scans as well. And there's actually no detection here. Okay, there's the Overseer. Here we go. CLEM just trying to poke on to this. Both players are maxed out, so they are going to start building up those forces. +2 and Adrenaline Glands is on the way, as well as +3 for Ragnarok. Just trying to bolt onto this. Looks like the trigger has been pulled, though, here for CLEM. Viper's going to come in and shut down the tanks. The Bailing's going to try to get a surround here. The Ling's doing a really good job. The Lurker's pushing forward, and CLEM is sent back packing. Does he have enough here, though? I don't think he does. Trying to micro this back, coming back to the Planetary Fortress, but there's just too much Zerg. They're going to go ahead and crash into the CC, instantly killing it, killing off 18 SCVs. And Ragnarok having to pull back, having to regroup here at this moment. And CLEM trying to give chase now, but he is down a base. Another one has been taken up here. And just an amazing play there from Ragnarok. Looks like CLEM, though, going to continue to push in here. And he really hasn't lost a whole lot of those ghosts. I mean, we look at the count. He's lost 3 ghosts. And he's at what? He's at 7 ghosts right now. Still looking pretty good. Lings are going to get a beautiful surround. Doesn't get any hits. And with the Hydras coming in, we'll be able to shut it down for the time being. Still these Lurkers in position, not going to allow CLEM to get too close. Basically rendering them immediately ineffective. And also some Liberators just trying to get into a position. The automatically Ragnarok finding where he needs to go. The Queen's taking care of business. Should be more than okay. Again, here we come. Another big attack. The Lurkers just trying to get as close as possible. Continuing to push forward. The Bailing's not going to get any connections. But there's still Hydras. There are still Lurkers coming in here. We'll go ahead and force himself down. So many hits, though, with these ghosts. We'll eventually take them all out, but there's some more Lings, some more Bailings coming through. The Bailing's going to try to crash into whatever it can. Ends up losing them to the tanks. And forces it back once again. Ragnarok down to 139 supply to 176. Going to, start making more and more units here, but he does not have the economy to keep doing this. These attacks are great, but he's not getting the damage done. Those ghosts just killing off too many Lurkers at this point. The tank's going to start sieging up, going to start pushing towards this main focus of the 4th base. There we go. Eventually Ghost will be taken down. GG will be called, and CLEM going to take game number 1 there in spectacular fashion, and just a crazy back and forth there. So we will see what happens here in game number 2. It's going to be on Death Aura. Let's get it. Alrighty, guys. Without further ado, here in top left-hand corner of the map, playing as the Blue Terran pieces from Team Liquid. Give it up, it is CLEM. And in the bottom right, in the red, playing as the Zerg pieces from Team Alpha X. Give it up, it is Ragnarok. Alright, so game number 2 here on Death Aura. A really nice map. I'd like to point out the little hyperspheres, as you would call them, allowing units to move faster. We see those sometimes with like Ling run-bys, and anything that goes through it makes it quicker. So will those be utilized in this series? We will find out. Definitely a bigger map. I don't know if it's the biggest one. I think Jaganatha is the biggest, but Death Aura definitely really big. So may not see a whole lot of proxies, may not see a whole lot of cheese, but if you're a Zerg player, Creep going to be your best friend on this map. And if you're a Terran, obviously flying is going to be your friend. Now, sometimes we tend to have longer games on here, and I'm interested to see how long this game's going to go. Both players seem to be pretty evenly matched here. All things considered, those ghost snipes onto the lurkers was just so crucial in those engagements. There's a couple times it looked like RAGNAROK was just going to overflood, but he just did not have the economy, and it was just that constant pressure against that third base or that fourth base of RAGNAROK that just did not allow him to continue producing like he would want to. Even taking the additional bases, it just seemed like he could not get enough minerals and gas to get that taken care of. So here in game number 2, we will see. Alright. Reaper going to make its way across the map. Again, just trying to scout, see where the third base is at. If it has been taken yet, which it should be right as he's getting there. Do you see it? I don't think he saw it. Okay, sees that there's no base taken just yet. We'll get in here and start putting on some pressure. Now the queen is almost out, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time, but does not get any kills this time. There we go. Still putting on the pressure, even though the queen is staring him in the face. We'll go ahead and finally back up. Does see the third base finally.
Add-on complete.
And we'll know that everything is a-okay. Alright, back at home, we do have additional barracks coming through. Oh, no, we don't. I'm a ding-dong. The third CC is on the way, as well as the starport. Going to be going into, maybe? Yeah, it's going to be Banshees. There we go. Reaper's still at hard work, trying to keep the Zerg back as much as possible. Roach Warren is going to be coming down, though. And if CLEM wasn't going for the Banshees, I'd say this could be very scary for CLEM. Third base is going to be coming through as well. It's going to depend on how many roaches he makes, right? He's building up a pretty good bank. And just going to be making 4, 9. Okay, so he's going up to a heavy roach count. He is looking to push across the map. Now, CLEM is going into this Reaper Hellion opening. And if he can somehow shut this down and get the Banshee out of position, he's going to be in a really good spot here. And I don't even know if one Banshee is going to be enough to kind of stop this. He's going to throw in a bunch of Lings behind this as well. And, oh, he's throwing them to the side so that they don't get scouted. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so CLEM is going to be coming up. Oh, no. Does he scout these? He's looking. He knows there's got to be something coming. Okay. Going to start pushing up to the fourth. He still has not seen these. Some Ravagers going to be coming across as well. And CLEM going to be in some trouble here. Lings are on their way across as well. Going to be getting there around the same time here. And there is nothing at home here. He is playing super, super greedy here. The Banshee is across the map, right? Yeah, Banshee's across the map. He is not going to be in play. Oh, Corrosive Bile is going to rain from the sky here. Going to get straight in. There is one Banshee that has been added into the main, but will it be enough? Corrosive Bile is not going to hit the target, unfortunately. But gets on top of a lot of the SCVs. 11 SCVs have gone down. The Lings still getting damage done. Going to be forcing the Hellions out of play. The Banshee's still trying to get some kills, but there's just too much Zerg here. Second Banshee finally returns home. But 21 SCVs have fallen, and more Lings are making their way across. More Ravagers are getting morphed in at the same time. Trying to help deal with this now. The supply depot is burning. Looks like it will eventually fall. And the Corrosive Bile not going to make any landings, so this will eventually get cleaned up. Or does it? The Ling's going to start flooding in once more. So far, 24 SCVs have fallen. More and more still looking to get done. And all that's really here are the Banshees. There's 3 Banshees altogether. Some Marines are trying to get taken care of. And finally, this does get cleaned up. Still a couple of Lings though. 28 SCVs do go down, and a lot of production going down for CLEM. Behind this, we have spore crawlers coming through, and every base, layers on the way. Stimpack is just about finished up here for CLEM, but he can't even move out at this point. He has to sit back. This gives a perfect opportunity for RAGNAROK to drone up, to get where he needs to, go into Bailings and Aspire at the same time. He's going to go into that Ling Bane Spire tech. The only bad thing is he is kind of oversaturated on some of these bases, but I mean, I guess he's okay for the moment, right? I would like to see him go for a fourth, but you really can't even take a fourth at this point. Oh, here comes the Overseer. Still is slow, though. He doesn't have the speed. But with the Queens in the main, and in the natural, and with the Spore Crawlers everywhere, these Banshees not going to get anything done. They get a couple of kills. 5 drone kills. It's going to be about it. But the Spire is almost done. Does he actually scout the Spire? Where's the Spire at? There it is. Did he scout it? I don't think he scouted the Spire. No, he doesn't know the Spire. There is a little bit of a drop coming over here and still some damage getting done. But eventually, the Banshees will be taken out. One of them getting out just barely with 9 health. A little bit of an attack. Gets cleaned up, though. And now CLEM just trying to push himself back into this. He does have 3 CCs, adding on additional barracks. Finally getting +1. 4th base is being taken for RAGNAROK behind this. So, not too bad. Here come a few Lings. Just trying to see where everything is at. Additional barracks coming down now as well. Lings getting a pretty good scout what's going on. Interesting. So 4 Mutas and 24 Lings going to be making their way across here very soon, but here come the Marines, and there's nothing helping these Queens. Lings are going to get a decent surround, but here come the Mutas, going to start focusing down. 1 medevac full of units goes down. The second one going to get focused here. And will go down as well, and not going to be the day for CLEM there. Now, he does have tanks. He does have still Marines. We should be seeing some... Oh, no. He doesn't even have money right now for any turrets. Oh, no. This is not going to be good here for CLEM. He finally has enough for a turret in the 3rd base, but... that's not going to help him now. He doesn't even have money for Thors. +1 now finished up for both sides of that armor. RAGNAROK now has the advantage. He is going to continue to press in, find the damage where he can, but this does give an opportunity to CLEM to actually kind of make a comeback, or to at least get himself set up. But again, okay, he's only got 1 turret in each base. Not going to be the best, but at least it will kind of push this back for the time being. But he's got enough Mutas now. I think he could get it, right? There we go. Doesn't want to lose too much, though. And we'll get pushed back. Now, there's quite a bit of Bailings and Lings being made across the map. +2 is on the way for RAGNAROK. +2 just now starting up for CLEM. So, RAGNAROK going to be a little bit ahead in upgrades for the moment. But now things have kind of, in a sense, quieted down, right? He's still getting the damage done. He's still kind of putting this pressure. But it's not these big engagements. It's solely just CLEM trying to claw his way back into this. 81 workers to 63. Or, yeah, 63 at the moment. They are tied up in army count. But the worker count not going to be as good. And RAGNAROK's kind of in this position right now where he's going to be able to continue to spend his money. He's going to be building it up pretty quickly. He has taken a 5th base, and I think this is the only bad thing right now from RAGNAROK is he has had, for the longest time, like he's had a worker lead, but for the longest time it was not being utilized. So I think now that he's finally kind of in that position where he can do that, He's going to be A-okay. Ling will come up. Going to see exactly where the army is. See the base moving in. Ling's going to be kind of sitting back with the Bailings. Muta's going to come in and poke. There we go. Tanks are in a pretty good position against the Bailings, but still, I think some Widow Mines would be nice. Finally, some Thors will be added on into this composition. That's going to be nice. He is getting the mine upgrades, so could be transitioning into that if he feels like it's necessary. There we go. Trying to get a little bit of a surround. Does not get it, though. Scans, see that it's not a hive yet. That one is still a hatchery, but indeed hive tech is on the way. There's a ticking time here for CLEM. Scanning around, seeing where all the bases are, seeing where he's at. Both players are maxed out at this point. CLEM's +2 just now finishing up, starting up his +3 weapons. And, yeah, I mean, he has a little bit of a time. We'll finish his +3 before Ragnarok, so that's good. Seventh base. 6 and 7 coming down now for Ragnarok as he's continuing to expand, continuing to try to suck up all the money. He is at a high amount of units. Coming in with a big Bailing hit, going to take out that base. Oh, even the Widow Mine's going to go down. 15 SCVs have fallen. And again, CLEM going to be falling short here. He does not have the economy to rebuild at this moment. He's going to be falling a little bit short. Ragnarok trying to poke, trying to keep CLEM at home while he does his thing. There's an Ultralisk Cavern on the way as well as the Adrenaline Glands. So going to have some bitey units here very, very quickly. Ling's coming in for a counterattack at the same time. The Marines trying to come down here to this 5th base. The 6th base does. Excuse me, the 7th base is going to be taken out. 6th base getting pressed forward. Still, Ling's being ravaged over here. 18, 20 Lings, or SCVs going down. Finally, this hatch does get taken care of as well. So, back down to a 5 base economy here for Ragnarok. And there we go. Looks like Ragnarok starting to push across once more. Does end up having to fall back. Doesn't want to get off the creep too far. Especially with the Thors, with the Marines, and now Widow Mines in place. But still, counterattacks are abroad. So it looks like he is looking to go up into this top base. Yeah. Ragnarok cannot afford to attack into this army right now. He's going to have to continue to pull back, trying to find the perfect opportunity. Does pick up a little bit of a small force across the map. And at the same time, setting up a very solid position up here at the top. Bailings do crash in, going to supply block CLEM for a little bit. Ling's coming in. Actually gets killed off, but here come the Bailings, going to start crashing in. And base goes down, forcing CLEM to come back, and now Ragnarok starting to pull this apart. There are still Widow Mines available, but they are expended. And now, oh no. Okay, so he's trying to take this base once again, not going to be able to. And more Lings going across, only kills off 1 or 3. Not the difference to be had. More Lings coming in here. The Bailings looking to roll in, but now the Ultras are out, looking to crash into this. Tanks finally sieged up onto the high ground. There is one Thor, but going to get eliminated here very, very quickly. There we go. Both tanks are done. GG will be called in Ragnarok. Going to take game number 2 here in spectacular fashion. What a series so far. Excited to see game number 3 here. And we will see who will be victorious. So it is going to be on a Pillars of Gold. Very interesting map. Let's see who wins. There we go. Without further ado, here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, playing as the Red Zerg pieces from Alpha X. Give it up. It is Ragnarok. And in the top right, in the blue, from Team Liquid, give it up, it's the Terran. It is CLEM. Pillars of Gold, definitely one of those interesting maps. Has some different pathways, has some nice little rock points and breakaway points that will allow some crazy access to both players. Now, both players have been playing a very standard kind of game both times. I mean, they've kind of faltered around a little bit. RAGNAROK showing some strength here, taking the win against CLEM. We'll see if he can close it out, or if CLEM will be able to outstrong RAGNAROK. Overlord going to make its way across the map, and so far it's just going to be a standard barracks expansion, looks like, from CLEM. Now, last game we saw RAGNAROK go into this kind of roachling army, really gave him a big advantage. Do we see that another game in a row, saying, hey, that worked so great this time, there's no way that he's going to make another Banshee play? We will see what happens. I would like to see him go into Banshees if that is the case, but again, it's kind of one of those variables of like, do you keep going with that? It didn't really work out for CLEM, obviously. He was able to kind of pull back a little bit, was able to get some damage done, but in the end it was not successful. Just had too much damage, lost too many SCVs, and those Bailings, man, it's just crazy. Alrighty. Reaper going to make its way into the natural. And again, this, very popular dance of Ling and Reaper. Not going to get any kills, most of them very, very close. Ooh, there we go. Able to get one kill. And we'll go ahead and back it up. Sees the third, sees everything that he needs. And the natural going to be coming down again, going to be going into the Hellions. I think that's going to be very crucial. A map like this, it's hard to attack up. Just because there's so many ramps, it's kind of like, what do you do in these situations? So, we will see how he wants to approach this. He will be able to start blocking this off and walling it off. And again, because it is in a ramp, and there's only one entrance, he can kind of like watch and see if the Lings do decide to move out, maybe put some pressure. But at the same time, if he does that, then he kind of risks like taking some damage of his own. Oh, the Reaper. Okay, so speed is done. Gonna get caught up here, and it looks like the Reaper will eventually die. It is going to be Banshee play as well, and no roaches as of yet. So it's going to be just kind of a Ling style, maybe just Ling Bane. There we go. More Hellions going to be making their way across the map, and so far, neither player losing too much, about even. All together, we will see the speed upgrade for the Overlords coming into play. So we're going to get a good scout. Sees that it is going to be a Cloak Banshee. Bailing Nest is starting, and should have the lair on the way as well. So we'll be able to get that bailing speed nice and early, and already has the Spore Crawlers in place to defend against this. So, third base on the way for CLEM. Going to be going into additional barracks. And again, we see this kind of bio play. I would like to see him do some more drops, maybe get a little bit more aggressive. but doing a good job of just keeping everything kind of close knit. No detection here so far for Ragnarok, just now morphing an Overseer, so could potentially get a kill or at least waste some of the energy from the Queens, but now going to just pop out with the Banshee. It doesn't want to lose it. A second Banshee will join and start trying to pressure into the main. At the same time, the Hellions going for a run by. Doesn't really get any kills. And oh, the Spire going to go down in the face of CLEM. But CLEM not going to see it. Here come the Banshees though. Gonna cloak up. There is a Spore Crawler. Gets a couple of kills. There we go. CLEM still has not seen the Spire tech. Spire's about halfway done. Gonna come back in for a little bit of a push. Will he finally see it? No, he doesn't. It's just barely out of vision. Oh, Link's gonna get a surround on a few of these Hellions, and a lot of the other Hellions are still low. It says, oh man, feels bad. Just one more pixel. Oh, he sees everything around it. That's terrible. Alright, Banshee's coming in. Still not going to see anything. Will eventually get kind of pushed back or taken care of. Fourth base going to be going down behind this. And, Marine tank push across the map. Lynx are here though, so he should be more than okay. He's got bailing speed and he's got 5 mutas on the way. +1 on the way as well. Oh, Link gonna see it moving out. Oh, just such a perfect play so far. Tank's gonna siege up on the third base location here as the Marines stem forward. Gonna get onto the fourth base. Try to get the cancel. The Lings having to wait for the Bailings to get in here to try to get a surround, but now the Muta's going to come in from behind, start dealing with the tanks. Marines trying to pull back, trying to get cornered here, but he can't even pick up. If he does, the Muta's going to have perfect range to shut this down. But no, the base going to finish up, and it looks like he will be able to pick off this fourth base from Ragnarok. The Banshee's still alive, still getting some damage done, but he cannot press this yet. Bailing's going to get shot down. A nice surround with the Mutas. Does finally get picked up, but unfortunately he cannot attack it just yet. And now Ragnarok having to retake a fourth base here somehow. He still has a lot of creep up, and he's going to start pushing across with it, but there it is. The fourth base going to be taken over here to the bottom right. At the same time, another CC, a fourth base for CLEM, going to be going down, as well as more Marines are coming out. Looks like this is going to actually get pushed back. Almost gets the tank. Scan does actually see this coming down. And now CLEM going straight towards it. The Muta's going to try to intercept. Oh, gets one of the medevacs. Very crucial. Link's going to go for a counterattack. There's nothing here to defend except for a couple of low health Halbats. Link's trying to get on whatever they can. Going to go into the natural. Picking off whatever resources they can, but a huge attack going on here into the third base of Ragnarok. The tank sieged up. The Bailings trying to get on top of whatever they can, but not enough firepower. Another base taking where the fourth base location was for Ragnarok. Behind all of this, the Muta's coming in from behind. There's just not enough Zerg here. CLEM starting to push in towards the space. There's a lot of drones here, but does force the pickup, and now the Lings giving chase. The Muta's trying to cover this as well. Tank is going to siege up as well as a couple of mines and push it back. And that's going to give a little bit of breathing room here to Ragnarok, but not a whole lot of time, as this big push, this big flood of blue coming across the map now. The Lynx will be in trouble, as we do have those Widow Mines focusing up. The siege tank going to be in the back. Hellbat's still alive. Not a whole lot of Bailings. The Lynx trying to get some kind of connection, but not going to be enough. And it looks like CLEM starting to push forward, starting to pull ahead. The Lynx and the Mutas here for Ragnarok trying to come back to help. but not having enough here. Last kind of hoorah here as the Bailing's trying to get in here. A big Widowmine hit does happen. Does get the tank. Kind of push it back, but just too much. And GG will be called as CLEM takes the victory there. GG's.